Hello everyone. Today I just want to address the danger of hiring more than one spiritualist to do spiritual work for you, one specific spiritual work for you, the same spiritual work at the same time. Because some people don't know that there are danger and there are spiritual rules and regulation that every spiritualist have to abide to follow in order to practice without problems. In order to practice by respecting the spirit that you're working with. And some people, when they come to you, they will tell you they are going to pay this amount of money. Some people, they get carried away by the money that the client is going to offer. And for very few people, they follow principle and the things that the spirit tells them to do. Me, I follow the principle and the rules of my spirit. So even if you give me 1 billion euros or dollars right now and tell me to do something for you and my spirit say no, or my spirit has given me rules and regulation that I have to follow, I'm not going to take the money. I would rather manage with the little I have than to collect something and have problems with my spirit. Because some of you guys, because you have the money, you pay this spiritualist, pay the other spiritualist, pay many spiritualists to do the same thing at the same time for you. And you think that it's going to work faster. You think that it's going to add more strength, more power to the spiritual work for it to be work faster. No. It only causes spiritual conflicts between the spiritualist spirit that you've hired and the other spiritualist spirit. It causes conflict. And the work will not be done. You know, it will not manifest like you're looking for it. Some of them will not manifest at all. There will be long delay. You know why? Because in the spiritual realm, we have a system. There is a system just like we have in the legal system. We have that. That system is like this. For example, you come to me and you pay me to do spiritual work for you. I have done this spiritual work. Instead of you to be patient, to wait for results. At the same time, you paid another spiritualist, you know, to do the same work that you've hired me for. My own spirit will be having conflict with the other person's spirit of who is going to get this work done. This one will say they paid me to do this work, or they sent me to do this work. This one will say no, it's me that they sent to do this. This is me that is supposed to do this work. Then it becomes a conflict between the two spiritualist spirits. And it also becomes a conflict between the two spiritualists if they know that something like this is happening. And some spiritualists that have evil hearts, they will get so angry that they will afflict you. They will spoil the work for you and reverse it to the opposite side. And another thing you people don't know, when you hire a spiritualist to do a work for you, some of us, like me for example, I'm going to make sure I clear all parts, everything in that thing that you've hired me for. I remove blockages, everything that is not aligned to me. Because on spirit, they don't align, they don't work together. My spirits might not be in alignment with the spirits of the spiritualist that you've hired. So me, I clear the path before I do work. So every work that they've done for you that you've paid for, I will spoil it. I will do spiritual rituals to cleanse that place, to destroy anything that will hinder my own work. So when I destroy the work that your own spiritualist has done, I will now do my own work. You see, so you have just wasted your time for the other spiritualist that you have paid and you paid me to. So it's going to be a problem. Also, if I did work for you and you go to a powerful spiritualist that understand this thing, they will first destroy all the work that I have done and then put their own work. So what you did to me, you have already, the money you paid is wasted to my own self. So this is why it's not good to pay different spiritualists because you have the money to do one work. When you pay a spiritualist to do a work for you, you wait for a result. It's only when you've waited for a long time and there is no result that you can obviously have the need to hire another spiritualist. And before you do that, you have to openly go and tell the spiritualist that thanks for the work that you've done for me. It didn't work if it didn't work. Or it worked, but I don't want you to do spiritual work for me anymore. They might ask you why that you don't want them to do spiritual work for you. Just say for personal reasons that you don't want to get involved to do on spiritual work for him. Just thank him. Don't fight him. Don't quarrel with him. Because if you're going to fight and quarrel a spiritualist because they did a work for you that didn't work, their spirits might come after you, or the spiritualists themselves they will do something bad against you. Just tell them thank you for the work done. You no longer want them to do spiritual work for you, so that their own spirits will understand that they are no longer employed to do work for you. The air spirit have taken the information. So when you go to another spiritualist for the spiritualist to do work for you, there will not be conflict between the two spirits. I will tell you, for example, in the country where I live, there was a time that I hired similar thing, similar system in the spiritual realm. I hired a lawyer to represent me for a case. Then I didn't practice spirituality. I haven't aligned my spirit. So I didn't know things about the spiritual things in that way. Like, I'm not practicing. So I hired a lawyer to represent me, and the lawyer is being paid by the government. This lawyer is a racist lawyer, does not know what he's doing. I will get more information about my situation when I go than when he gives me information. So we went to the court the first time. He lost the case, you understand? So I decided to hire another lawyer. Because in the country where I am, the government can pay your lawyer, and you can hire any lawyer you want in the country. But in some country, the government, when they are paying your lawyer, they are the one that brings the lawyer to you. But here, we choose our lawyer, the government will pay the lawyer. Even if it's the best lawyer in town, the government pays for the lawyer, okay? Yeah. So anyway, so in order for me to make sure that this guy that is not doing his job no longer work for me, I have to report him to the government that pays him. And I have to bring evidence that he's not doing his job. And then they have to check, investigate to see whether he's not doing a job. When they investigated and saw that I was honest, he has not done any job, he failed in the court case and everything, they took the job from him and gave to the new lawyer. And they wrote in the report, this is the reason why we are transferring the case to another lawyer. Yeah, and the lawyer which I transferred the case to won the case instantly. But I supported him spiritually with backup. I was not practicing that time, but I have spiritualists that used to work for me at that time. So we did some spiritual work. And then the lawyer that I hired, new one, who is not a racist, he represents a lot of foreigners. He's also married to a black person. So he went to the court and won the case. If I just take the case from the other one and give to the other one, without going through the legal system, there is going to be conflict between the two lawyers. So it's the same with the spiritual work that we do, is the same thing. There will be conflict within the spirit of both spiritualists and conflict with the spiritualists if they know each other. If they find out that someone is doing that work for you and you're also paying them for the same work, so it becomes a problem. So my advice is, when you go to a spiritualist to do work for you, be patient. All spiritualists are not the same. Some people, when they do work for you, to work very fast. Why some people is slow? It doesn't mean that they didn't do it. They've done it. The most important thing, once it's done, it's important to inquire from the spirit if this work has been accepted, if they are in agreement of what you are asking for. Then you have to wait for it. It's only when you have waited for so long time and it's not working that I advise you to go to another spiritualist. Because if you come to me for me to do work for you, first I will do spiritual consultation to see if someone else is working for you. And then I'm going to advise you that before I work for you, you must end the contract with the other spiritualist before I work for you. And then I'm going to give you the reason why. But some people, they might feel that, how is that strange? Why can't Oracle work for me and the other spirit will work for you? And the other person, spiritualist, work for you? So this is why I'm explaining it in this video. The conflicts. So my spirits have already told me, don't work for anybody that is working, on that spiritualist is working, and this is why, this is the reason. So if I disobey my spirit, so it's my own problem. It's going to be me who is going to have the punishment. So anyway, that is the reason why I don't work for someone who has hired other spiritualists. It's best for you to stay with that spiritualist for them to do work for you and you see results. If you hire me now, hire another person, at the same time we are doing the same. How can you know whose spirit is more powerful? You won't even know the difference. You will not know who is actually putting the effort.